welcome back to Friday Reads, where we help you find your next read. I'm Jill.
And I'm Julie. And people are getting excited because fall is right around the corner. For some people here in the library, they say September 1st is the start of fall. For me, it's October, but Jill and I picked some books that have to do with fall and autumn. So, Jill, what's your first pick?
So my first thing is a witchy kind of book.
Ooh.
It's called The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. This is the New York Times bestselling author Rachel Hawkins writing as Erin Sterling.
Oh.
Cast a spell with a spine-tingling romance full of wishes, witches, and hexes gone wrong. 9 years ago, Vivian Jones nursed her broken heart like any young witch would. Vodka, weepy music, bubble baths, and a curse on the horrible boyfriend. Sure, Vivian knows she shouldn't use her magic this way, but with only an orchard hayride scented candle on hand, she isn't too worried it will cause him anything more than a bad hair day or two. That is until Reese Penhallow, descendant of the town's ancestors, breaker of hearts and annoyingly just as gorgeous as he always was, returns to Graves Glen, Georgia. What should be a quick trip to recharge the town's league lines and make an appearance at the annual fall festival turns disastrously wrong. With one calamity after another striking Reese, Vivi realized her silly little ex-hex may not have been so harmless after all. Suddenly, Graves Glen is under attack from murderous wind-up toys, a pissed-off ghost, and a talking cat with some interesting things to say. Vivi and Reese have to ignore off-their-charts chemistry to work together to save the town and find a way to break the breakup curse before it's too late. So...
The Ex-Hex.
The Ex-Hex. Witchcraft gone wrong.
I'm starting with a cozy mystery because nothing says fall like pumpkin spice. So I have Pumpkin Spice Peril by Jen McKinley. This is published in 2020. And this is actually the 12th book in the Cupcake Bakery Mystery Series from this New York Times bestselling author. Life is all sugar and spice for the fairy tale cupcake bakers. Melanie Cooper is engaged to the delectable Joe DeLaura. Angie Harper and her husband Tate are savoring married life, and the bakery is bustling with happy customers until one of their most valued customers ends up dead. Local glass artist and cupcake lover Renee Fisher-Klein has always suffered from a wide variety of health issues. In an effort to cheer her up, her doting husband Peter brings her a 4-pack of her favorite cupcakes every week. But when the police discover that Renee has been poisoned, there's no sugarcoating the fact that the last thing she ate were the bakery's signature pumpkin spice cupcakes. Uh-oh. With their lives in bakery at stake, it's up to Mel and Angie to find out who poisoned their artist friend and why before their future is frosted for good. So who doesn't love a good cozy mystery, especially one with pumpkin spice cupcakes? So check out Jen McKinley's Cupcake Bakery Mystery Series.
It's the perfect put you in the fall mood. Pumpkin spice cupcakes.
Seems like pumpkin spice and cinnamon. Everybody's always excited about those flavors coming for fall.
My next one is called As Chimney Sweepers Come to Dust by Alan Bradley. This is the 7th in the Flavia de Luce mystery series. The main character, New York Times Book Reviews, describes Flavia de Luce as part Harriet the Spy, part Violet Baudelaire from Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. So, even though those are children's characters, this is an adult book. I can promise you. Because I checked. I'm like, what? Banished is how 12-year-old Flavia de Luce laments her predicament when her father and Aunt Felicity ship her off to Miss Bodycoat's Female Academy, the boarding school that her mother Harriet once attended across the sea in Canada. The sun has yet risen on Flavia's first day in captivity when a gift lands at her feet. Flavia being Flavia, a budding chemist and sleuth, that gift is charred and mummified body, which tumbles out of a bedroom chimney. Now, while attending classes, making friends and enemies, and assessing the school's stern headmistress and faculty, one of whom is an acquitted murderess, Flavia is on the hunt for the victim's identity and time of death, as well as suspects, motives, and means. Rumors swirl that Miss Bodycoat is haunted, and that several girls have disappeared without a trace. When it comes to solving multiple mysteries, Flavia is up to the task, but her true identity has yet to be revealed. So, like a little mystery. Body falling out of the chimney.
My second pick is probably a familiar author to most around here, and this is The Simplicity of Cider by Amy Reichert. This was published back in 2017. Fall in love with this charming novel about a prickly but gifted cider maker whose quiet life is interrupted by the arrival of a handsome man and his young son at her family's careworn orchard. Focused and unassuming fifth-generation cider maker Sanna Lund has one desire: to live a simple, quiet life on her family's apple orchard in Door County, Wisconsin. Although her business is struggling, she remains fiercely devoted to the orchard, despite her brother's attempts to convince their aging father to sell. Single dad Isaac Banks has spent years trying to shield his son Sebastian from his troubled mother. Fleeing heartbreak at home, Isaac packed up their lives and the two headed out on an adventure, driving across the country. Chance, or fate, led them to the orchard. Isaac's helping hands are much appreciated at the apple farm, even more when Santa's father is injured in an accident. As her former simple life becomes increasingly complicated, she finds solace in unexpected places. Friendship with young Sebastian, and something more deliciously complex with Isaac, until an outside threat infiltrates the farm. So if you're fans of Sarah Addison Allen or Gail Foreman, you might enjoy a charming love story with a touch of magic. The Simplicity of Cider.
Your picks are making me hungry.
Sorry. I'll wait till the next one. It's a cookbook.
So my next one is Marilla of Green Gables by Sarah McCoy. I don't know why Green Gables makes me think of fall, but it does. This is a bold, heartfelt tale of life at Green Gables before Anne, a marvelously entertaining and moving historical novel set in rural Prince Edward Island in the 19th century that imagines the life of a spinster, Marilla Cuthbert, and the choices that will open her life to the possibility of heartbreak and unimaginable greatness. So, plucky and ambitious, Marilla Cuthbert is 13 years old when her world is suddenly turned upside down. Her beloved mother has died in childbirth, and Marilla suddenly must bear the responsibilities of a farm wife, cooking, sewing, keeping house, and overseeing the day-to-day life at Green Gables with her brother, Matthew, and Father Hugh. In Avonlea, a small, tight-knit farming town on a remote island, life holds few options for farm girls. Her one connection to the wider world is Aunt Elizabeth Izzy Johnson, her mother's sister, who managed to escape from Avonlea by bustling city of St. Catharines. An opinionated spinster, Aunt Izzy's talent as a seamstress has allowed her to build a thriving business and make her own way in the world. Emboldened by her aunt, Marilla dares to venture beyond the safety of Green Gables and discovers new friends and new opportunities. Joining the Ladies' Aid Society, she raises funds for an orphanage run by the Sisters of Charity in nearby Nova Scotia that secretly serves as a way to station for runaway slaves from America. Her budding romance with John Blythe, the charming son of a neighbor, offers her a possibility of future happiness. Marilla is in no rush to trade one farm life for another. She soon finds herself caught up in the dangerous work of politics and abolition, jeopardizing all she cherishes, including her bond with her dearest John Blythe. Now Marilla must face a reckoning between her dreams of making a difference in the wider world and the small-town reality of life at Green Gables. So, Marilla at Green Gables.
Sounds like fans of Anne of Green Gables would like that. Okay, I'm sorry that I'm making you hungry. Like I said, my next pick is a fall cookbook. So I've got Fix It and Forget It, the best of fall recipes, quick and delicious slow-cookered meals by Hope Comerford. This was published back in 2019. It's got 150 or so of the very best harvest recipes. Fall is here, and so is a busy season of holiday parties, and you start cooking for bigger groups. So you don't want stress to get in your way. Simply take out your slow cooker and prepare holiday meals for the entire family with ease and joy. There's a lot of recipes in this book that capture the spirit of fall. You can wow your guests and your loved ones with healthy and delicious seasonal offerings that cover everything from appetizers, soups and stews, meaty and vegetarian mains, breakfast, beverages, and dessert. Some examples are, there's butternut squash and apple soup. I thought that sounded good. Mediterranean eggplant, tortellini with broccoli, autumn harvest pork loin, and then you get into the shepherd's pie, pumpkin pecan pie. So accompanied with gorgeous festive photographs as well as tips on how to use your slow cooker, Fix It and Forget It, Best of Fall Recipes is your one-stop shop for the best loved meals during everyone's favorite time of the year. So happy fall and bon appetit. Check this one out.
Crockpots are perfect for fall too because they're warm.
You get the hearty and the cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
My next one is The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. In 1977, Clear Lake, Oregon was shaken by lady killer murders. Two men, seemingly randomly, were murdered with the same gun, with strange notes left behind. Beth Greer was a perfect suspect, a rich, eccentric 23-year-old woman seen fleeing one of the crimes, but she was acquitted and retreated to the isolation of her mansion. Oregon 2017, Shea Collins is a receptionist, but by night she runs a true crime website, The Book of Cold Cases. A passion fueled by attempted abduction she escaped as a child. When she meets Beth by chance, Shea asks for an interview, and to Shea's surprise, Beth says yes. They meet regularly at Beth's mansion, though Shea is never comfortable there. Items move when she's not looking, and she could swear she's seen a girl outside the window. The allure of learning the truth about the case from a smart, charming Beth is too much to resist. But even as they grow closer, Shea senses something isn't right. Is she making friends with a manipulative murderer, or are there other dangers lurking in the darkness of the Greer house? A true crime blogger gets more than she bargained for while interviewing the women acquitted of 2 cold case slayings in this chilling new novel from New York Times bestselling author of The Sundown Motel. So This one's brand new, so you might have to get it on hold.
My fourth pick is a little dark. This is The Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig, published in 2021. And it was described as, if you're looking for a horror story heading into fall, this book may be for you. Author Stephen Graham Jones, the author of The Only Good Indian, said, "The dread, the scope, the pacing, the turns. I haven't felt all this so intensely since The Shining." So in this book, Nathan lived in a house in the country with his abusive father long ago, and he has never told his family what happened there. Long ago, Maddie was a little girl making dolls in her bedroom when she saw something she shouldn't have, and is trying to remember that lost trauma by making haunting sculptures. Long ago, something sinister, something hungry, walked in the tunnels and the mountains and the coal mines of their hometown in rural Pennsylvania. Now Nate and Maddie Graves are married, and they have moved back to their hometown with their son Oliver. And now what happened long ago is happening again, and this time it's happening to Oliver. He meets a strange boy who becomes his best friend, a boy with secrets of his own and a taste for dark magic. The dark magic puts them at the heart of a battle of good versus evil, and a fight for the soul of the family, and perhaps for all of the world. But the Graves family has a secret weapon in this battle, their love for one another. So this one sounds like an interesting and a scary book to read. So if you're looking for a horror story heading into fall, The Book of Accidents may be a pick for you.
Creepy books are great for fall. It's funny you mentioned the author of The Only Good Indians, because Stephen Graham Jones is the author of that book. My Heart is a Chainsaw. This is the first in a Lake Witch trilogy. It was just released last year. I don't think the second one is out yet, so you can take your time reading it. In her quickly gentrifying rural lake town, Jade sees recent events only her encyclopedic knowledge of horror films could have prepared her for. Jade Daniels is an angry, half-Indian outcast with an abusive father, an absent mother, and an entire town that wants nothing to do with her. She lives in her own world, a world in which protection comes from an unusual source. Horror movies, especially the ones where a mass killer seeks revenge on a world that wronged them. And Jade narrates the quirky history of Proof Rock as if it's one of those movies. But when blood actually starts to spill into the waters of Indian Lake, she pulls us into her dizzying, encyclopedic mind of blood and masked murderers and predicts exactly how the plot will unfold. Yet even as Jade drags us into her dark fever dream, a surprising and intimate portrait emerges. A portrait of a scared and traumatized little girl beneath Jason Voorhees' mask. Angry, yes, but also a girl who easily cries, fiercely loves, and desperately wants a home. A girl whose feelings are too big for her body. My Heart is a Chainsaw is a story, her homage to horror and revenge and triumph. So, yeah.
My last pick, I took autumn literally, and this is 40 Autumns, a family story of courage and survival on both sides of the Berlin Wall by Nina Wilner. This is in our nonfiction collection. In this illuminating and deeply moving memoir, a former American military intelligence officer goes beyond traditional Cold War espionage tales to tell the true story of her family of 5 women separated by the Iron Curtain for more than 40 years and the miraculous reunion after the fall of the Berlin Wall. 40 Autumns makes visceral the pain and longing of one family forced to live apart in a world divided by 2. At 20, Hannah escaped from East to West Germany, but the price of freedom, leaving behind her parents, 8 siblings, and a family home, was heartbreaking. Uprooted, she eventually moved to America, where she settled down with her husband and had children of her own. Growing up near Washington, D.C., Hannah's daughter, Nina Wilner, the author of this book, became the first female Army intelligence officer to lead sensitive intelligence operations in East Berlin at the height of the Cold War. Though only a few miles separated American Nina and her German relatives, Grandma Oma, Aunt Heidi, and Cousin Cordula, a member of the East German Olympic training team, a bitter political war kept them apart. It's a personal look at a tenuous era that divided a city and a nation and continues to haunt us. This book is an intimate and beautifully written story of courage, resilience, and love of 5 women whose spirits could not be broken and who fought to persevere through what matters most, keeping family together. And I also have a bonus pick. I asked my husband what he thinks of in fall, and of course it was Badger football and Packer football. And so he likes the book by John Grisham, which is kind of a departure for Grisham, Playing for Pizza. In this one, Rick Dockery was the third-string quarterback for the Cleveland Browns in the AFC Championship game. To the surprise and dismay of everyone, he eventually got into the game. With a 17-point lead and just minutes to go, Rick provided what was arguably the worst single performance in the history of the NFL. Overnight, he became a national laughingstock and was immediately cut by the Browns and shunned by all the other teams. But all he knows is football, and he insists that his agent find him a team that needs him. Against enormous odds, Rick finally gets a job as the starting quarterback for the mighty Panthers of Parma, Italy. The Parma Panthers desperately want a former NFL player, and they'll take any NFL player at their helm. And now they've got Rick, who knows nothing about Parma, not even where it is, doesn't speak a word of Italian, to say that Italy, the land of fine wines, small cars, and football Americano, holds a few surprises for Rick would be something of an understatement. So this is one of my husband's favorites at this time of year. Playing for pizza when football season comes around.
More food. Well, we hope we hope that we made give you some ideas of what to read to put you in a fall mood.
Like, comment, share. We got some cute comments last week from our puppy posts of what people like to read. You know, you can find us on our Facebook page at the Kimberly Public Library and our YouTube page for the Kimberly Public Library. We always like to hear what you're reading. Until next time, we thank you for watching. Bye-bye.